All right, let's have a look at these scorecards. If you hear some noises in the background, please excuse me. There are builders working downstairs, so that's what that is. Hopefully I can get through it without it being too distracting for you. So yeah, these scorecards, these are the official judges' scorecards for the Wilder Fury fight. And this here is Barry Jones's scorecard. The 12th round is missing, but we know the 12th round is 10-8. Barry Jones is one of the BT Sport commentators. Barry Jones, definitely not impartial, very pro-Fury commentary, and a very pro-Fury scorecard. No different to what a lot of you guys accuse Sky of being with their commentary in terms of being pro-Matchroom, so on and so forth. And in front of me here, it's not on screen, but in front of me here, I got my scorecard. So I'm going to compare all the scorecards, because you got a lot of these smart asses in the comment section of my scorecard video saying you don't know how to score fights and how the hell could you score that particular round in favor of this fighter? You must be dumb. You must be... No. Look, since these Fury fanboys are so amazing at scoring fights, all we need to do is just get one of them, because they act like their scorecards are definitive, that they have the definitive scorecard, and that anybody else who has a scorecard that differs from theirs is stupid and they don't know how to score a fight. This is how they carry on. So let's get the biggest Tyson Fury fanboy and make him judge every single fight out there. Yeah, let's make a career for him, because he is all that's needed here. None of the judges in the world, none of the analysts in the world can do a better job than your average Fury fanboy. So just get one of them to judge all the fights, right? Because they know better than all of us. Look, in all seriousness, people, there's a reason why you have 3 judges. It's because judges are going to differ on certain rounds. So you want to get a consensus view on who won a fight. Yeah? Just because one judge scored it one way and the other judge scored it the other way, it doesn't necessarily mean every time there's corruption involved. No, because some rounds are very close, so sometimes they're going to go one way or the other. And in this fight, particularly in the early rounds, there was a lot of close rounds. And I'll give you some examples here. Now, Barry Jones' scorecard, interestingly enough, is identical to mine for the first 3 rounds. But that is in stark contrast to the 3 judges. The 3 judges all scored the first round to Deontay Wilder. Me and Barry Jones scored the first round to Tyson Fury. The second round, 2 judges scored it to Fury, 1 judge scored it to Wilder. And again, me and Barry Jones scored it differently to 2 judges. We scored the second round for Fury. And again, bear in mind, Barry Jones is very pro-Fury. And he, like me, scored the second round to Wilder. The third round, 1 judge scored it to Wilder. The 2 other judges scored it to Fury. Me and Barry Jones scored it to Fury. The 4th round, I scored for Wilder. And 1 of the judges scored it for Wilder. The other 2 scored it for Fury. The 5th round, the judge people are saying is corrupt. He scored it for Fury. Okay, all 3 judges scored it for Fury. Barry Jones did. And I did as well. So all of us were in agreement in scoring it for Fury, the 5th. The 6th round, I scored it for Wilder. 1 judge here scored it for Fury, which is the judge you guys are saying is corrupt. He scored it for Fury, the 6th. Robert Tapper, he scored it for Fury as well. But this judge here, Phil Edwards, the British judge, he scored it for Wilder. Why are there so many conflicting scores for these rounds? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. It's because the rounds were close. CompuBox shows you the rounds were close. Your eyes, if you have the ability to be objective and to separate emotion from reason and logic, you'll see yourself that these early rounds in the fight were very close. There wasn't much to split them. That's why you're seeing judges going one way and the other not agreeing even, well, Barry Jones is predominantly pro-Fury. He gave Deontay Wilder one round other than the rounds where the knockdowns occurred, which is, to me, absurd, to be honest with you, because the rounds were so close, but it is what it is. 7th round. This guy gave it to Fury. The guy you're saying is corrupt, he gave his 7th to Fury. The other 2 gave it to Wilder. Look at that. I personally gave it to Fury. You know, this judge right here, Alejandro Roshin, aside from the first 4 rounds, which he gave as a clean sweep for Deontay Wilder, the rest of his scorecard is not very controversial. It's not very controversial at all, the rest of his scorecard. Look at it. Fury round, Fury round, Fury round, Wilder, Wilder, Fury, 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 Wilder. So it's only the first 4 rounds of this judge's scorecard that are really contentious. The rest of the fight, I don't think people would have too much of an issue with. These judges' scorecards are more in line with mine in terms of going back and forth between the fighters. Yeah, anyway. So this judge, again, the one you're saying is corrupt, he scored it for Fury, the 7th. The other 2 judges scored it for Wilder. And I personally scored it for Fury as well. I agree with him on this one, rather than them. But again, the rounds are so close. That's why you have 3 judges, so you can come to a consensus view. Okay, 8th round. This judge scored it for Wilder. This one, Wilder. Okay, everybody... No, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. This one scored it for Wilder. The other 2 scored it for Fury. I had the 8th round for Fury as well. The 9th round, everybody scored it 10-8. The 10th round, I scored it for Fury. And yeah, all the judges were in agreement. It was a Fury round. Same with Barry Jones. Everybody in agreement. The 10th was for Fury. 11th, this judge scored it for Fury. This one, Fury. So again, in the 11th, everybody in agreement. And indeed on mine, I also scored it for Fury, the 11th. We're all in agreement about that round. The 12th is a 10-8. So to me, the only thing that's really controversial here is the first 4 rounds on this judge's scorecard. The rest of the fight, and controversial, as in those were close rounds, the first 4. Close rounds. The fact that he gave all of them to Deontay Wilder, does that suggest some sort of bias? Maybe. Maybe he's thinking they're close rounds and the challenger's not really doing anything to really stamp his authority and take those rounds off the champion. So I'm going to get the close rounds to the champion. Perhaps that was some bias there in the way that I just explained, of saying, oh, we're going to give the close rounds to the champ. We're going to give the close rounds to the hometown fighter. Perhaps that's what he was doing or thinking. But the rest, from the 5th on, you can't argue with that scorecard. Like, it's not a bad scorecard. And to me, these scorecards aren't a bad scorecard. This is the most biased scorecard on the screen right now. This one right here, Barry Jones' scorecard. This is the most biased scorecard on the screen. It's an absurd scorecard to me. And you're not going to try to tell me that Barry Jones and John Rawlin were not massively pro-Fury. You're not going to try to tell me they were objective. You're not going to try to tell me they were impartial. Give me a break. As Frank Warren would say, do me a favor. So, yeah. If you want to moan about this scorecard, fair enough. But if you want to moan about the result, I ain't hearing it. A draw was reasonable as far as I'm concerned. A close decision, either way, reasonable as far as I'm concerned. Says here, the remarks of the judges, close rounds. Close rounds. That's what the remarks of the judges were. I don't know which judge wrote that, but the remarks are close rounds. Indeed, they were close rounds. Whoever put that, that's not a disingenuous remark. This is a very, very credible remark as far as I'm concerned. Close rounds, a lot of close rounds. If Fury's only outlanding Wilder by 1 punch or 2 punches a round, that's a close round, folks. Stop making out as though it was just one-sided action. It's ridiculous. I know people get caught up in the emotion of the event and Fury's comeback and the fairy tale ending and all this kind of business. In the cold light of day, when you watch the fight dispassionately, without sound, without commentary, and you're looking at it objectively, you know that was a close fight. And there have been so many people, again, I get the haters and the crazy fanboys, that's okay. But there have been a lot of people who have come to me after watching the fight a second time and said, you know what, Hatman, you're right. It actually was a close fight. A draw is not unreasonable. Yeah. It is what it is. Anyway, there you go, people. That's my analysis of the scorecards. The rounds which, certain fighters won big, people agreed upon, like the 10th for Fury. Nobody that I've seen has scored the 10th any other way than for Tyson Fury. I scored it for Fury. The 3 judges scored it for Fury. Barri Jones scored it for Fury. Every scorecard I've seen scored the 10th for Fury. When somebody wins a round big, there's going to be a common consensus. I mean, you can't go to the 10th round of Bo Holyfield 1 and act like Holyfield won the round. I mean, actually, tell a lie. Holyfield rallied late on in that round, but he didn't do enough to win the round. Now, it was a 10-8 round anyway. I took a count. My bad. What round am I thinking of? How about the 10th round of Holyfield Tyson? Yeah, how about that? You could never argue that the 10th round of Holyfield Tyson was a Tyson round. No way. There's nobody on earth who's going to have a scorecard where Mike Tyson won the 10th round in the first Holyfield fight. Okay, so when somebody wins a round big, everybody's going to say it. But when you got a lot of close rounds, you're going to have different opinions on the rounds, man. That's what he got 3 judges for. Because everybody can't agree on every single round. Yeah, common sense. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Drop your comments below. It's Hatman. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.